Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and today I want to discuss the state of Fireteam Elite because my god, 2 nights ago we got a hotfix and the messages started pouring in on various media platforms asking me if I know anything about Fireteam Elite becoming the next World of Warcraft or something. So we're gonna have a brief back and forth talking about what the situation is right now and give you my 2 cents on what I think is happening or not happening. So let's start with the obvious. 2 nights ago we got a hotfix for Recon's guard dog. Context: the actual patch, the quality of life patch that came out and broke the game even more for the benefit of the AI being a little bit more competent, came out on the 24th of October. That is a week before October was done, 4 weeks for November, that's a total of 5 weeks, and then an additional 2 weeks in December. 7 weeks, almost 2 months. And for what? A hotfix. So when you use guard dog on the Recon, who the F uses guard dog by the way, you will not experience a crash or a severe frame drop. Do you know what else causes a severe drop in frame rate? Having a dock on your freaking team. If you have a dock on the team, even if they don't deploy their pylon, chances are you're gonna experience frame drops, especially if you're playing crossplay. Something network related is tied to that, but I have a shitload of reel from streams proving that having a dock on the team will tank your frame rate if you're hosting and if you're playing close platform. So it took them almost 2 months to hotfix guard dog, and no one apparently knows that having a dock on the team F's up the game and you can't play it. Isn't that amazing? So what is the process entailed here? Why is it such a big brain process to hotfix one freaking ability and it takes you 2 months to do so? I'm gonna give you my 2 cents. I think only the janitor in Cold Iron is working on any kind of update for Fireteam Elite right now. I don't know, maybe the barista is, or the person who is responsible for changing the light bulbs. There must be a very diminished skeleton crew taking care of whatever when it comes to Fireteam Elite. There is no consistent effort being made at improving the state of the game. So, why did they tell us that they were trying to improve the state of the game? I think the answer here is pretty simple. First and foremost, they indeed released an update that tinkered with a lot of things, and that is, taking this on goodwill alone, indeed an effort to future-proof the game and leave it in a good state. The game, though, is not in a good state, and it hasn't been in a good state for almost 2 months, as I keep telling you. I think that patch was the last big effort, and I hope I am wrong, and now they're just trying to cover stuff that is too obvious or that the vocal users have been very passionate about. I'm gonna put it that way. An ability that pretty much becomes unusable because it crashes the game is something that they cannot hide under the rug. Well, they can and they can't because, you know, there is the PC stuff in the way, so maybe when you play on PC in specific PC configurations that might not be the issue, but it could be 100% the issue on consoles, for example, current and previous gen. The fact that the dock will tank your frame rate is not something as intrusive as the game crashing altogether, so they're like, we don't really need to deal with that. Now, that's not very professional, but I don't think that the effort done here has to do with them presenting themselves as masters of the programming craft, because they are not anyway. What's been done here is trying to save some face, because they are working on a sequel. The skeleton crew left behind to take care of pretty much basic maintenance is just here to keep the game relatively relevant in the consciousness of the consumer, so they'll be like, the game's still here, they're working on the game, they're fixing something, and they are silently working on a sequel that they're gonna announce at some point. And because we're still hooked to the presence and existence of this game, we will be interested in the upcoming sequel of the game. Not to mention the apologists out there. I'm talking about you, George, who will just make excuses about every single misstep Cold Iron has been taking for the past 2 years. Guys, they are asking for your hard-earned money and time, and you have to have some standards. I know you like Aliens, I know you like Higgs, I know you remember that you went to the cinema to watch Aliens with your cousin who moved to, I don't know, Indonesia since then, and you haven't seen them, so nostalgia is making you dumb. But the game has a shitload of problems right now and no one is addressing them. Wake the F up! I don't have to be too vocal anymore though, because I don't really put stock in this situation. It's run its course. I'm happy for what it's done, both for my community and my channel and for my time with friends. Because this was never meant to be a live service game. We have to understand that people are still hoping we will be getting full-on expansions for Fireteam Elite. This is insanity. This game is not selling shit anymore. It was given for PS Plus for free. It had its run on Game Pass. Next step is probably to be given for free on Epic Games Store. Dude, if I'm verified on this, if during this holiday season they gift Fireteam Elite on Epic Games Store and people still come out and say, oh, when are we getting the expansion that will include everything that came out with Prometheus and Covenant? I'm gonna eat my eyeballs, guys. Please concentrate on the fact that this was a budget title. It stayed around for far longer than it would normally if it wasn't tied to such a huge IP, and it is done. And when they release these small fixes and tweet posts and all that shit, is just because they want to keep rattling the can so we know they're still there. I don't hate them for the product. I don't like the social practices they've been employing since day one. People were over whiny about the bugs initially, so they bunkered down and stopped talking to us and didn't give a freaking shit about what we thought. I don't have to say it again, man. There was some hippie higher up in Cold Iron who thought their shit smelled better than all other studios, and they didn't have a line of contact with content creators, they didn't have a line of contact with the gamers, and they kept making mistake after mistake until the game became nigh unplayable. After the last patch, we streamed it because we wanted to present a nice show for you guys, and the elites were still disappearing in front of our eyes. The game's not in a good state, and it will take a lot of work to bring it to a good state, and I don't think they have the budget or are prioritizing doing so. These ridiculous hot fixes once every 2 months are the only thing we're getting, and if we don't, we're probably gonna get a patch that will fix 5 things and break 4. The base construction of the game, I think, was done with specialists on board, seasonal coders who came in to create the game, and then when the game was created, the contracts expired, these people were let go, and the people left behind could not handle the workload and the complexity of the mechanics. Every game that contains build crafting is a numbers game, and numbers games are hell to balance. They're extremely complex because if you increase one thing too much, you break the game, so they have to always have fail-safes in place, and you have to be a wizard to keep this thing under wraps. Dude, Gunfire Games still can't fix Remnant 2, and Gunfire Games is huge compared to Cold Iron. Okay. By the way, I'm not angry at all, I'm just speaking loud and excitedly because today was a very active day, I had a lot of stuff to do, so I'm bringing this to you in a good mood, full of energy. Whew. Okay, that's it. Please have realistic expectations so you don't get disappointed. Look forward for other stuff that's releasing soon, like The First Descendant, which I will be covering in great detail. And if we get any news about the sequel or about the whispered and rumored Alien Isolation spiritual follow-up, I will come to you with the info and let you know what I know. Thank you so much for watching this, guys, and for being around for the best part of 2 years, 2.5. I love you all. You're the best community on the planet. If you want to support the channel, you know what to do. Patreon, buy me a coffee, get a membership here, subscribe with Amazon Prime on Twitch, whatever. I'll see you on the next stream. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers.